What's up, everybody? This is Vincent Tseng, the Wandering Warrior. Now, today's topic is why you shouldn't learn Kung Fu moves. I'm serious. Oh, you think I'm playing? No, you shouldn't just learn Kung Fu moves. In fact, it's actually kind of useless to just learn Kung Fu moves, right? Singular techniques. What are you talking about, man? You're like the guy championing traditional Chinese martial arts. It's not even cool anymore. Everyone does Muay Thai, BJJ, goes to an MMA gym. What are you even talking about? You're the folk martial arts guy. You're the traditional Chinese martial arts dude. Why are you saying don't learn Kung Fu techniques? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's useless to just learn Kung Fu moves. So, as somebody that does champion the traditional martial arts, in this case, I'm talking about traditional Chinese martial arts, Chinese boxing, right? I definitely have people hit me up and say, oh, can you show me how to do this move? Can you show me how to do that technique? And oftentimes I can. If I can't, I just tell you, hey, I don't study that system, I don't know that stuff, right? But if I do know it, I can show it. But I kind of hate those questions. Whenever I hear people talking to me like that, I'm just like, no! Now, obviously, I don't scream in their face. I don't yell at them. But why is it that internally I'm like, that's not what you need? The reason is pretty simple, right? There is actually a benefit to picking up singular moves, but it's such a small benefit, right? It doesn't necessarily transform your game. Now, if you aren't looking to transform your game, you're just looking for a tool to plug a particular hole, fill a slot, right? A particular job needs to be fulfilled. Cool, right? You can do a flicker jab, like in Western boxing. And you can be a judoka that uses the flicker jab if you need to set up a particular thing. It may just be the thing you need. But oftentimes, as we've seen in every martial art, things develop together. And you have certain tools that are meant to work together within a particular frame in a particular system of usage. So all in all, while that one particular technique may fit into your game, it may work. Paw down their hand and boom, elbow. Cool. Muay Thai has that as well, right? Oh, maybe I parry, grab, boom, to the eyes. Nice. That's not all that different than patting down the hand and bang, right? Hit the nose, gouge the eyes, pop the throat. I mean, boxers have that. You can learn that from Krav Maga. You can learn that from Wing Chun. You can learn that from Long Fist, Mantis. You can learn that from Karate. What's so special about that? Right? Oh, I want to learn some of these low sweeps and stuff. I mean, this stuff's cool. This stuff's really cool. Whether it's from Tang Quan, ground boxing, Go Quan, dog boxing, or if it's from Buaya, crocodile style silat, or Silek Harimau, the Minangkabau silat style, the tiger style. I mean, yeah, they got all that kind of stuff. Cool, leg sweeps and trips from a low level. By only using that one technique, you are essentially cheating yourself of learning an entire system of body methodology, body usage, a certain way to move and engage in a fight. You're cheating yourself of a whole variety of techniques and tactics that go along with that one thing that you're interested in. And on another note, you're kind of cheating yourself of a whole martial culture and strategic doctrine and mindset towards the fight. Now, does that matter to you? Maybe not. But if you're tuned into my channel, I'm willing to bet it does. Sometimes when people, ask me for a particular technique, it's kind of just them being naive. They think something's cool and they're like, yo, I want that. And in today's day and age, especially since, Bruce Lee, Jeet Kune Do, take what works, discard the rest, and, the whole mixed martial arts sport taking off, especially with the UFC, yeah, I mean, I can't blame you for having that mentality. But even if you're coming from the standpoint of mixed martial arts, I mean, every single successful fighter has a strategic doctrine, has a team, has techniques that all fit within a whole system of usage, right? They're not just, most of them are not just picking them out like, stuff for a salad bowl, right? These things go together. And if you're thinking in terms of like Bruce Lee, take what works and discard the rest, how do you know what works? If you do not have judoka type training, how are you going to do judoka type throws? If you don't train like a judoka, how are you going to throw like a judoka? Of course, the seoinage does not work for you when you don't train to move and fight like a judoka. Of course, taekwondo kicks don't work for you if you don't have the hip mobility and the leg strength and the agility to even do taekwondo. Yeah, of course, wrestling doesn't work for you if you don't have the back strength, the grip strength, and the kinesthetic awareness to even wrestle anybody. I'm not talking about Greco-Roman, sumo, clinch work of any kind, Muay Thai or Mantis boxing. I'm talking about any kind of wrestling. Of course it doesn't work for you if you don't have even the body for it. There's a reason why these systems have a methodology for building you up from the physical standpoint, from the tactical standpoint, and from the skills or technique standpoint, right? People are either a bit naive or they're arrogant. They think, I know better. I know better. And you know what? Honestly, I can't 100% blame you because, especially if you're talking about traditional Chinese martial arts, there are a lot of people that shouldn't be teaching martial arts that are. Die. Whoo! Okay. Yep. I really dislike people that lie. Don't call yourself a martial artist if you can't teach people how to fight. Martial arts means military or warfare arts, and arts are skills embodied into you to the point where they become expression of you, right? These are warfare or combat or fighting methodologies that you embody. So if you can't teach them how to fight, don't call yourself a martial artist. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of body mechanics experts out there. There are a lot of physical movement and fighting historians or encyclopedias out there. There are Chinese martial arts guys, Chinese style boxers, who can do a few things. They got some things down, but they may not have the whole system. Sometimes a Chinese martial artist who's actually pretty good is not a good teacher. And so of all of their students, only one seems to be able to bang. The rest of them kind of suck because he doesn't know how to teach anybody who isn't just like him, right? There's a lot of problems with the Chinese martial arts as they are today. I get that. But at the same time, to think that without putting in the work, you can just pick up a technique or pick up all the techniques of a particular style or system and be able to do it without having done any prerequisite work, that's kind of retarded. Like, let's be honest. It's a little dumb. Or arrogant. Or both. It's like me and Lavelle, or American Hangai, say. You can learn Mongolian wrestling techniques. It doesn't mean you're going to wrestle like a Mongolian. And really, what are we after? We're after the ability to wrestle like a Mongolian. Or if you're talking about Chinese martial arts, Kung Fu, you're talking about the ability to fight like how we think they fought back in the day. Nowadays, we basically only have stories. But it was impressive enough and it was useful enough that it got passed down. Alright, so you guys know me. I'm not a complainer. I don't like to complain. I'm allergic to complainers. Whenever I hear somebody who's just complaining and the whole time, I'm talking about this is screwed up and this is screwed up and I don't like when they do that, I just, man, bang. I hate that stuff. And so what I'm telling you is not actually don't learn Kung Fu moves. I'm not trying to discourage you from learning any Chinese boxing systems either. I personally find a lot of value in them, even though it is a fading folk martial culture. That said, I think understanding the meta, the whole strategic doctrine of that Chinese boxing system before you start learning that system of fighting will go a long way into making sure that you actually embody the techniques, the tactics, and, well, the body, the creature, the fighter that is, the warrior that is, that you can actually encapsulate that, capture that, and make that a part of yourself. See, at the end of the day, you could say a punch is a punch, a kick is a kick, a throw is a throw, but judoka and Mongolian wrestlers and Shuaijiao people move differently. They just do. A takedown is a takedown, and yet Mongolian wrestlers, judoka, sumo wrestlers, and freestyle wrestlers, they move differently. Oh, punching is punching. And yet, Shotokan karate, Kudo or Kyokushin, Savat, Chinese boxing, Silat styles, they move differently. They move differently. Even within Western boxing, there's so many ways to throw a jab, so many ways to throw a cross. People still debate how to throw a hook properly. And of course, there's variations in uppercuts. And it's these details that when you add a lot of details that work together and develop a foundation off of that, it's that kind of stuff that helps you express the universal combat principles that are imposed upon us by physics, evolution, psychology, that allows you to express things that adhere to those principles, but in a special way. Not only in your way, but your way as informed by the Soviet School of Boxing, by Hangar Kun, by Changquan, long fist or long boxing, right? And this applies no matter what martial arts discipline you're talking about. So this isn't even just Kung Fu, but obviously, I have a background in the Chinese martial arts, so that's the angle I'm approaching it at. But really, this goes for any martial art. If you're going to do it, I don't mind if you pick up a technique, but if you're going to do it, you're best served by actually spending time in it. And better than just spending time in it, train it while knowing the strategic doctrine and the meta behind it. Because not every system comes out with right, probing the other person with actual attacks. Some of them set up in a frame where you're using your postures to indicate something's coming. Your posture indicate something's coming. Right? Your posture indicate something's coming. And you can approach with a certain posture and then bang. Right? You can approach with a certain posture, boom. Right? That's what that is. That's a different meta. That's a different approach. Man, you guys don't even understand. I got so much in this head, so much in these hands. We got to start at the basics. And so I've created the Essentials of Long Fist or Long Boxing online course. 18 lessons. It's nothing crazy. But it lays down the nuts and bolts and the foundations of what makes long boxing or Changquan, long fist, Kung Fu, what it is. It's not the Jiben Gong. You guys can find that anywhere. It's not the Taolu, the forms, the sequences. You guys can find that on YouTube. It's what the strategic doctrine is and what are the essential tools, right? Muay Thai, you can break it down to its essential tools. Western boxing, you can break it down to its essential tools. Even judo, you can say, of all the judo techniques, here are the most commonly used, most successful techniques across all weight classes. And the overall formula involves walking up to the person, hand and grip fighting, throwing, and ground fighting, right? Every single one of these systems has a body method, has a strategic doctrine and a whole bunch of tactics and techniques to get it done. So I've laid that out for long fist or long boxing with my recent course. If you're interested, check it out down below. Okay guys, now obviously it's my product, I'm proud of it, I want to get it out there, I want you guys to buy it, to train it, to use it. But sales pitch aside, I truly believe it's incredibly important that we learn the meta, the strategic doctrine, the fight culture behind the martial arts system. Because when you understand that, when you understand how that warrior moves, when you understand how that warrior thinks, when you understand the world of that warrior, of that soldier, of that fighter, of that boxer, then when you pair that with schools that are actually teaching this stuff legitimately, with all the fighting application intact and the conditioning and the fight know-how, and last but definitely not least, you have a fight culture. You have, say for example for the Chinese martial arts, a revival of Lei Tai fighting, but for the modern day. Something akin to Kudo or Sanda, but further augmented or further tweaked so that it is ideal for the expression of the skills and the tactics of Chinese boxing systems. And it's competitions that actually pay. There's an actual career in this. If you have all of those, if you have all three legs of the stool, then this platform can stand strong. But if people don't know what they're doing, even if they're learning legitimate techniques, they're gonna just fall into the age-old stereotype that a lot of people that have learned Kung Fu fall into. And that is, you're just a bunch of really sloppy kickboxers. In the future, I look forward to making some videos talking about what exactly is the meta of long boxing, and by default, therefore, a lot of Chinese boxing styles. And therefore, what is the strategic doctrine? How do they even enter and engage into the fight? Because techniques alone only tell you part of the story. But I'm here to help you lay out the plot. There you go, guys. That's just my rant for the week. I appreciate you listening. You know, I've been involved in the Chinese martial arts, and it's really a shame to see a lot of people still very pig-headed about things, so jealously guarding secrets. I'm trying to change the whole conversation. I'm trying to shift the whole paradigm. Along with other folk martial arts, I'm trying to revive the efficacy and the dominant skills within the Chinese martial arts. So, if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and thank you for joining me on my journey. I salute yours. Peace.